aim at providing free training for law aspirants for all law entrance examination. Maverick is bringing in together the best faculties for law entrance examination, and they are taking session 4 to 5 with us. In one such session today, we have with us Dhwani, who is a certified English trainer, and she has been taking English sessions for us. And the one, the topic is reading comprehension. As you are well aware, that CLAT 2020, the pattern has changed. The English section comprises of reading comprehension. Dhwani, over to you.
Thank you, Harsh. Hello, everybody. My name is Dhwani Gupta. In today's session, we are going to focus on reading comprehension and vocabulary. We all know that reading comprehension is very important for CLAT. In fact, with a lot of practice and reading, we can easily score good marks in this section. So now let's start our practice and let's do one comprehension today. So the above passage has been taken from Edits and Revisions from Punachi, or The Story of a Black Goat by Perumal Murugan. So let's find out what's written in the passage, and then together we will solve the questions. The old woman did not like the look or sound of the kid. She scowled at her husband. "Where did you pick up this kitten from? Why do we need her?" When the old man told her she was a goat kid, she picked her up and exclaimed in amazement, "Yes, she is a goat kid." All night, they went over the story of how the kid had come into their hands. That same night, the old lady gave the goat kid that resembled a kitten a nickname, Punachi. She once had a cat by the same name. In memory of that beloved cat, this goat kid too was named Punachi. They had acquired her without spending a penny. Now they had to look after her somehow. So we can see that in this passage, there is an old couple in which the husband brought a goat kid in the house. So earlier, the old woman was very angry at her husband. She was saying that, "Where have you got this kitten from? And why do we need her?" So the old man said that it is a very sweet, small goat kid. And so the woman just picked her up and then exclaimed, "Yes, she is a goat kid." So all night they were talking about the goat kid, that how did they get her. So the same night, the old lady said that she used to have a kitten which resembled a lot like the goat kid. So the name of that kitten was Punachi. So she gave the same name to this goat kid and named her Punachi because they looked so much alike, and that kitten was also very dear to her. So they were just talking about it, that they did not spend a single penny to get this goat kid, but now it is their responsibility to take care of this goat kid. Okay, let's read. Her husband had told her a vague story about meeting a demon who looked like Bakasuran and receiving the kid from him as a gift. She wondered if he could have stolen it from a goat herd. Someone might come looking for it tomorrow. Maybe her husband had told her the story only to cover up his crime. The old woman was not used to lighting lamps at night. The couple ate their evening meal and went to bed when it was still dusk. That night, though, she took a large earthen lamp and filled it with castor oil, extracted the ear before. There was no cotton for a wig. She tore off a strip from a discarded loincloth of her husband's and fashioned it into a wig. So what happened? Her husband told her, fabricated a very vague story that he met a demon, and that demon looked like a Bakasuran, and he gave him this goat kid as a gift. She wondered that I think that he had stolen from a goat herd or something. So the old lady was thinking that somebody might come tomorrow and ask for their goat kid. So his husband is just telling the story to cover up his crime of stealing. So the old woman was not used to light lamps at night because as soon as they had their meals, evening meals, they just go to bed. So in the evening only they used used to sleep. So that night, though she took a large earthen lamp, so that night she took a lamp and filled it with castor oil. Then there was no cotton for the wick. So what she did, she tore off a discarded cloth from her husband's garment and then made it into a wick. She looked at the kid under the lamplight in that shed as though she was seeing her own child after a long time. There was no bald spot or bruise anywhere on her body. The kid was all black. As she stared at the lamp, her wide open eyes were starkly visible. There was a trace of fatigue on her face. The old woman thought the kid looked haggard because she had not been fed properly. She must be just a couple of days old. A determination that she must somehow raise this kid to adulthood took root in her heart. She called the old men to come and see the kid. She looked like a black lump glittering in the lamplight in that pitch black night. He pulled fondly at her flapping ears and said, "Aren't you lucky to come and live here?" So the night was completely black. So when the old woman just she just lit the lamp. So in the lamplight, the goat kid was visible. The goat kid was very beautiful. It was jet black. There was not a single spot on her. She was spotless beauty. There was no bruise. And she stared like, and then when she stared at the lamp, her eyes were glittering. So, but there was a sense of tiredness, weakness on her face. It looked like that she was very exhausted and tired and weak, maybe because she was not fed properly. And it looked like that she is just a couple of days old. So somehow a feeling came to that old lady that she will raise that goat kid like her own. And this thought just उसके बहुत दिल में बहुत अच्छे से बैठ गया that she will look after that goat kid whole her whole life. Then she called her husband. Then old man came. Phil, she looked like a black lump glittering in the lamplight in that pitch black night. He pulled fondly at her flapping ears. Then the husband told the kitten, whispered actually in the goat kid's ears, that you are so lucky that you have come here and you are living with us. It had been a long time since there was such a pleasant chit-chat between the couple. Because of the kids' sudden entry into their lives, they ended up talking a while about the old ways. So it has been a long time. The couple did not talk to each other. They did not exchange a pleasant full chat. Generally, what happened that in the evening, they used to have dinner, then they used to go off to sleep. But by the sudden entry of a goat kid, their lives changed a little bit. They exchanged some good talks. They were talking about the good old days. So this was the passage. I hope the passage is clear. So now it's time for questions. You're always welcome to drop your answers on the comment box. So let's start. The first question is, why did the old woman doubt her husband's story about how he had got the kid? The old woman को क्यों doubt हुआ अपने husband की story पे? Because goat kids are only sold in livestock market. Because she thought that story was vague and that he had actually stolen from a goat herd. C, because she did not think Bakasuran was so generous as to gift him a goat kid. D, because her husband was a habitual thief and regularly stole things from other people. So let's see what is the first option. The first option is because goat kids are only sold in livestock market. Yes, it is true that goat kids are sold in livestock market, but he could get goat kid from anywhere. Maybe a goat herd could have given him himself. There could be anything. So this is a very vague answer, and it is not correct. And this is not even mentioned in the passage. So this is not the right answer. The second point is because she thought that story was vague and that he had actually stolen from a goat herd. Yes, this is written in the passage that she was not able to believe on her husband's story. She was thinking that maybe to cover up his crying, he was just fabricating some random story, but he had actually stolen from a goat herd. So yes, option B is the correct answer. But we will read the other options too. Option C is because she did not think Bakasuran was so generous as to gift him a goat kid. She thought that why would a Bakasuran will be so generous and gift him a goat kid? So nothing like this is mentioned in the passage. So this is not the correct answer. Option 4 is because her husband was a habitual thief and regularly stole things from other people. She thought that her husband was a thief and it is his habit of stealing things from people. So this is wrong. This is not at all mentioned in the passage. So this is also wrong. The correct answer is B, because she thought that story was vague and that he had actually stolen from a goat herd. So moving to our next question. Why did the old woman named the goat kid Punachi? So this is a very, very easy question. कि क्यों old woman ने goat kid का नाम Punachi रखा? First, because the kid made small beating noises that sounded like Punachi. Second, because the kid reminded the old woman of her husband whose name was also Punachi. Option C, because the old woman had first thought the kid was a kitten and so she named it after a beloved cat she had once had. D, because Punachi was the name typically given to goat kids in the area the couple lived in. So moving to our first option, because the kid made small beating noises that sounded like Punachi, the goat kid did not make any noise, as if it is not mentioned in the passage. So option A is completely wrong. Then option B, because the kid reminded the old woman of her husband whose name was also Punachi. Her husband's name is not mentioned in the passage. So this is wrong. Option C, because the old woman had first thought the kid was a kitten and so she named it after a beloved cat she had once had. Yes, this is written in the starting passage, I think in the second passage, second paragraph, that the goat kid resembled a lot like a kitten which the old woman used to have. So that is why she named the goat kid Punachi on the name of her beloved cat. So yes, option C is the correct answer. But we'll read option D also. Option D is because Punachi was the name typically given to goat kids in the area the couple lived in. No, this is wrong. This is not mentioned in the passage that what names are typically given in the area that couple lived in. So this is completely wrong. The right answer is option C. Now, let's see what is the next question. What does the word Hegard as used in the passage mean? So if you have listened the paragraph carefully, I'm sure you'll be able to answer it correctly. This is very easy. And in fact, this is a part of vocabulary. If you have a good vocabulary, maybe you could have known the meaning of this word before, but no problem. In the passage also, it's very easy to identify its meaning. What does the word Hegard as used in the passage mean? First, dark in color and hard to see. B, looking exhausted and unwell. C, direct and outspoken. D, furry and warm. Okay. A, dark in color and hard to see. No, this is wrong. Second is looking exhausted and unwell. Yes, this is the correct answer because it is also written for the goat kid that it was looking that the goat kid was looking haggard, as if that he was not fed properly. He was not fed, he was exhausted, he was unwell. So yes, this is kind of similar and this is the right answer, looking exhausted and unwell. Direct and outspoken. How can the goat kid be direct and outspoken? This is wrong. Furry and warm. No, this is also wrong. So option B is the correct answer. The next question is, why was the old woman not used to lighting lamps at night? So why did the old woman, क्यों वो रात में lamps नहीं जलाती थी? So it has got a very, very easy answer. A, because the couple usually ate their evening meal and slept at dusk. B, because her daughter used to light the lamps in their household. C, because the couple was very poor and could not afford oil for lamps. D, because the old couple did not usually exchange pleasant chit-chat. So moving to our first option, let's read it once again. Because the couple usually ate their evening meal and slept at dusk. Yeah, because before getting dark only, at dusk only, they used to have their last meal, their evening meal, and they used to sleep. So at night, usually they were sleeping. So there was never that need came that they have to light lamps. So yes, option A is the correct answer. But we will read the other options also. Option B is because her daughter used to light the lamps in their household. Nothing is mentioned of their daughter. So this is wrong. And in fact, this is not mentioned in the passage as well. So option B is wrong. Option C is because the couple was very poor and could not afford oil for lamps. Their financial status is not discussed in the passage. So this is wrong. D, because the old couple did not usually exchange pleasant chit chat. No, this is also not correct because maybe they used to sleep. They used to sleep in the evening only after having their meal. So this is also not correct. This is not the correct answer will be because the couple usually ate their evening meal. They used to eat their meal and then they used to go off to sleep. That is not written in the passage that they don't like talking to each other or they don't usually chat with each other. So this is not written there. The next fifth, what can we infer from the passage about why the old couple talked about the old days that night? तो हमें पैसेज से क्या पता चलता है कि बात रात में भी कर रहे थे. A, the old couple did not usually talking with each other. The second, the old couple was very and was so tired after working all day that they did not feel like talking. C, the old woman was usually very upset with her husband and thought he was a thief. D, they spoke about the old days because of the kids' sudden entry in their lives and the pleasant chit chat they exchanged about it. So let's move into our first option, which is the old couple did not usually like talking with each other and avoided conversation. So nothing like this is not mentioned in the passage. It is written that after many days, after a long time, they were discussing, they were talking at night, but it is not written in the passage that they do not like talking to each other. So these two things are completely different. So option A is wrong. Option B is the old couple was very poor and was so tired after working all day that they did not feel like talking. No, even this is not mentioned in the passage. So this is also not correct. Option C is the old woman was usually very upset with her husband and thought he was a thief. No, the old woman was thinking that day that he might have stolen the kitten, but he was not obviously also wrong. Option D is they spoke about the old days because of the kids' sudden entry in their lives and the pleasant chit chat they exchanged about it. Yes, this is the correct answer because that day they were just talking about their old days because some sort of change came into their lives by the entry of the goat kid, and so that was the reason they were talking to each other late till night. They were exchanging pleasant chit chat. So yes, option D is the correct answer. The next question is, now this is a grammar based question. Choose the correct preposition in place of one from the following. I'll read out the options, then we'll go back to the passage and read which is the line जिसके लिए हमें ये preposition चाहिए. So option A is among, B at, C over, D between. Okay, now I'm going back to the passage. So this is the line. It had been a long time since there was a pleasant chit chat dash the couple. So the meaning of this sentence is that after a very long time they were talking so pleasantly with each other. There were two people. Couple means husband and wife. So let's see which is the correct preposition. So the first is among. Basically, among means something when something comes in the middle of three or more person or thing. So couple are two people, husband and wife. So among is wrong. Among will not fit in correctly. At, we generally use at when we are talking about some event, party, workplace, or we are using house address. So at is also wrong. It will not fit in the sentence. Over, basically over is a position which comes between on and above and something which is not touching. Generally we say that the clouds are over the hills, a bird flew over my head. So that sort of sentences, in that sort of sentences we use over. So even this is also wrong. The next is between. Between is, yes, between two people. Between is used when something comes in the middle of two people. So yes, so the couple was talking, husband and wife were talking. So between is the correct answer. I'll read out once again. It had been a long time since there was such pleasant chit-chat between the couple. So between is the correct preposition. So now the next is, now let's proceed to vocabulary. We all know that vocabulary is very important. It plays a very major part in CLAT and other competitive exams. Even in our day-to-day lives, vocabulary is very important. In fact, in this competition, words like haggard, scowled. So these are some words. It's better to have good vocabulary because I think that vocabulary comprehension are core. If you will have a good vocabulary, it will help you to have a better understanding of the passage. So vocabulary is something which not only in competitive exams but also in your everyday life, in your day-to-day activities, when you're conversing with anybody, it will help you a lot. So it is important to have a good vocabulary. So there are many ways by which you have good vocabulary. Obviously, you should read a lot. Read the Hindu newspaper, read the editorials of Hindu newspaper. So the difficult words which you come across while reading, just jot it down in a paper, write their meanings. And so this is one thing. But now the challenge is how to retain those words. So for that, you should just don't do this as a task. Just you're just finding out the words and writing their meanings and just okay ho gaya. No, this is not correct attitude. Just do it out of practice. Use them in your everyday language. Use them in sentences so that you remember those words, and whenever those words come in any form in the passage or anywhere, you can relate. Okay, so this is very important. Read a lot. Read a lot of novels, newspapers, everything which will help you not only to increase your vocabulary but also your journal knowledge also. So reading, there is no substitute of reading. Reading is very important. So read a lot and just write down words and pay attention to vocabulary videos. They are also very helpful. So it is not a one-day process that today you'll start and you learn all the words. It doesn't happen like, it doesn't work like this. So, but just make it a habit. Every day you have to learn 10-15 words. And then by the time in August, there is a tentative date of CLAT exam. So yes, you'll be good to go. If you'll start from today, you'll make it a practice that you have to improve your vocabulary. Yes, you can do it. And that will help you really a lot. So now for today, I have written some difficult words with their meanings and sentences. So just pay attention to them and maybe these will prove helpful to you. The first word is angst, meaning strong worry and unhappiness, especially about personal problems. So when somebody is really worried, unhappy, there is no good feeling, and especially because there is some personal problem, so that is angst. Sentence: the angst vanishes from his face and voice. So the worriness, the unhappiness just vanished, just went away from his face and voice. The next word is machination. So machination is widely used term, and you will see that in a lot of comprehensions and in everyday life this word is used. So this is simple, also very simple. Meaning is plot or scheme. So when somebody is doing a planning, plotting, scheming, so that is machination. Sentence: I don't want to get involved in all his machination. So I don't want to be a part of his planning, plotting, scheming. So I don't want to be a part of his evil practices planning. So that is machination. Second is solidarity, meaning mutual support within a group. So when within a group there is the support of all the people, that is called solidarity. Sentence: he voiced his solidarity with the weak and defenseless. उसने अपना support रखा जो weak है, जो अपने आप को defend नहीं कर पाते हैं, कि लोगों से नहीं कर पाते हैं. So he voiced his solidarity, he voiced his support, he was with them. तो उनका support weak और defenseless के साथ था. The next word is fructify, meaning to make something fertile or make it produce a good result. तो basically जब when you make something fertile और जिससे कि वो अच्छा result दे, वो अच्छा result produce करे future में, so that is fructify. Sentence: it is important to plant the seed of enterprise in the students, and when the time is ripe, the seed would root, blossom, and fructify. So it is very important that to encourage the students from the very beginning, so that when the time comes, they work towards the development of the society. They work towards the development in every field. So that is fructify. The next word is usher. Usher has got two meanings. One meaning is show or guide someone somewhere. So a guide which which usually help you to go somewhere, which show you directions. So that is usher. And the other meaning is cause or mark the start of something new. जब कोई चीज नई शुरू होती है, तो कोई नया era शुरू होता है, तो कोई चीज की starting होती है. So that is also called usher. Sentence: he did part-time work as a usher in the theater, means he did part-time काम करता था as a guide in a theater. And the next is the railways ushered in an era of cheap mass travel. So the invention of railways was the starting of something new in the era of cheap mass travel. The next word is capitulation, meaning to surrender or give up. जब आप surrender करना चाहते हो, when you give up and आपको कोई hope नहीं है अब, so that is called capitulation. Sentence: the king had ordered the opening of city gates and capitulation. So the king had ordered कि just open the city gates and the king will surrender or give up. The next word is driving a wedge, meaning to damage the good relationship that two people or group of people have. So basically, when two people have a very good relation and then somebody creates differences between them, or drives a wedge, basically is creating differences between a good relationship. So that is the driving a wedge. Sentence: I started to feel that Toby was driving a wedge between us. So I'm thinking that I have realized that Toby is creating a rift, is creating differences between us. The next word is eradicate. The meaning of eradicate is destroy or put an end. Sentence: his ambition is to eradicate Eradicate meaning destroy or put an end to, किसी चीज को खत्म करना completely. Sentence: his ambition is to eradicate poverty in his community. So his ambition was to completely put an end to poverty in his area, in his community. The next word is impeding. The meaning of impeding is delay or prevent someone or something by obstructing them. So when something is delayed and its progress is getting delayed because something is obstructing them, is coming in between their progress, so that is impeding. Sentence, although he is shy, it certainly hasn't impeded his career in any way. Although उसका shy nature है, लेकिन उसकी shyness कभी भी उसके career, उसकी success के बीच में नहीं आई है. So that is impeding. The next word is retribution. Retribution meaning deserved punishment. So when something has done something for which he deserves a punishment, he deserves to be punished, so that is retribution. Sentence, the boy's parents believe his illness is divine retribution for their sins. The boy के जो parents हैं, they feel that the boy is ill and he's paying for the sins of his parents. They are getting their deserved punishment. The next word is rhetorical, meaning it is the art of speaking and writing effectively. So that the skill, the art in which you speak and write very nicely, effectively. So that is rhetorical. Sentence, the writer showed great rhetorical skill. So the writer showed, so the writer portrayed his great skill, his great art of speaking and writing. The next word is scapegoat, meaning a person who is blamed for something that someone else has done. So when you are blamed for something for which you are not wholly responsible and someone else has done, so that is called scapegoat. Sentence, I don't deserve to be made the scapegoat for a couple of bad results. तो कुछ bad results की वजह से I don't deserve to be blamed entirely. So that is a scapegoat when you held responsible someone for something bad that is going on. The next word is holistic, meaning dealing with or treating the whole of something or someone and not just a part. So when you're dealing with something as a whole, not just fragments or not just in parts, so that is holistic. Sentence, the course aims to develop in students a holistic approach to design. So जो ये course है, उससे students can develop a whole, they can have a complete good approach towards design. वो एक part, एक चीज design को समझ सकते हैं. They can go through every aspect of design. So holistic means when you're dealing with something as a whole and not just a fragment or a part or a portion. So thank you everybody. That's all for today. Our session ends here.
Thank you, ma'am, for joining us for this session. Kids, see you tomorrow for 2 sessions. There are 2 sessions lined up for tomorrow. One is scheduled for at 12 in the afternoon. That is with respect to English reading comprehension. The other one is scheduled at 4 p.m. That is with respect to current affairs, India's space missions. See you tomorrow. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.